it's Rebecca from Adventures in Nutrition. I am on a roll, so I decided to create video number 2, the second in the 5 biggest mistakes I made in my weight loss journey. So let me just clear a couple of things up for you. I got a couple things under control, like I tried to get rid of the red Rudolph nose in my last video and, just minor details, right? So I'm trying to back up away from the camera. I think I got too close in the last one, so I just love you guys so much. But anyway, try to keep my distance a little bit. Don't want to be kissing the camera today. All right, so I wanted to continue on talking about the second of what I feel like are the 5 biggest mistakes that I made during my weight loss journey. And the second one that I feel that really impacted my progress was letting the external conditions dictate how I felt about myself on any given day. Does that resonate with you? Does that make sense? Okay, let me explain. Okay, so what I mean by allowing the external conditions to dictate how I felt about myself is when things were going good, I felt great about myself. I was proud, give myself the old pat on the back kind of thing. And when things were not going so great or according to plan, because I had decided that weight loss should occur in a straight line, which doesn't happen that way, I decided that that my response was angry or frustrated, or at the very least I was mildly annoyed. Does that face look like I was mildly annoyed? I'm actually remembering some of the times when I would get on the scale. And yes, I was not my own best friend, as I talked about in the last video. I was really mean to myself. It's embarrassing to admit that I was mean to myself, but as I said in the last video, surely I am not alone. Okay, so what I am referring to that and going a little bit deeper is that if there's no deliberate thought or no deliberate creation and things that I want to think, that I am creating by default. That means that I will respond to this condition or that condition. If someone says something nice to me, oh great, you lost weight. Did you lose weight? You did? You look fantastic. Makes me feel good. But I don't know if you've ran into a girlfriend that you thought maybe she lost weight and then you were thinking, should I say that she lost weight? Because will that mean, you were overweight and needed to lose weight to begin with? I've thought that myself. I think generally I was always happy if someone complimented me, but I digress. So, how other people responded to me, I let dictate maybe how I felt about myself. I couldn't just feel good just to feel good. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that you just felt good to feel good. I let it. My weight ruled my life. My weight was related to every condition and every problem that I ever had. And when you blame weight for everything, then what happens when you lose the weight? The things are still there. The people are still there. The person that, the colleague maybe that you didn't see eye to eye with, they're still there. They still have their same opinions. And the weight that maybe you were carrying around is no longer there, but everything else is more or less still the same. Now, there are some things that are constantly changing. We are hopefully constantly evolving, but the lesson from that is not to respond to those external conditions. There's so many reasons why the body and physiology of the body actually works the way that it does. And it's not because it's trying to combat you at every move. No, things are working the way that they were perfectly designed to work. Even if it's perfectly designed to let you train it to think and react and respond and all of those things the way that you want it to be. So if I have programmed my subconscious mind, for example, we're going to go there just for a second. If I program my subconscious mind to serve up all of these thoughts that don't serve me, like a number on the scale means I blew my dietary plan. I didn't really blow anything. The more rigid we are, the more we tend to see things that way, like all or nothing. You're either on the plan or you're off the plan. Who said there was a such thing? Like, who told us that? Who said that there is a specific plan to adhere to? This is the, I've heard of all. I've heard it all. This is the right plan. This is the one. Don't get off of it. You know, you'll reach your goal, blah, 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 blah. Oh, but if we, you know, eat, you know, an extra serving of, oh my God, the world is coming to an end. I've blown it. Well, I might as well just eat like the whole freaking pie. Did you ever have a thought like that? Or am I alone in that too? I could be alone. So I think what I'm trying to say is that when we have the all or nothing mentality, or we let the external conditions, the way that we believe that things should be, we've decided that if we go off of a nutrition plan, because I mean, we really have to get that out of our vocabulary, because there is really no on or off. It's just a lifestyle and things that you choose according to the moment, because life is all about decisions, right? So, but when we allow how we feel about those things dictate how we feel about ourselves, I think that's a tremendous mistake. When we have those conflicts in our feelings, it directly interrupts the goal that we actually have. We might take a few steps back and then we'll be upset about that. But how did we get there? Well, it started with all of the belief patterns that we actually had about the thing that we thought that we weren't supposed to be doing, but then we did it, and now we're like, you know, on the speeding bus down the hill with no brakes. I've actually used the thing, like, I've used that term to characterize how I felt about things when it had to do with my weight so many times. Maybe you can relate, I don't know. So we have to get to the place, this is my conclusion. Let me just say that, this is my conclusion. We have to get to the place to where the external condition doesn't control how we feel about ourselves. Doesn't matter what the number says. Doesn't mean we don't have a goal. The goal is still there. You've already thrown that out to the universe. You can't really take it back. So, doesn't matter what the number says. If it's +1, -1, +2, -5. You can celebrate, not celebrate. I'm not saying feel completely detached or don't celebrate. Absolutely. But my point is celebrate no matter what. Celebrate no matter what, because your body is a wonderful, beautiful thing that responds to how you feel. And when you have conflicts about your journey and you don't deliberately think about how you feel about certain things or how you want to feel about certain things, then you are absolutely creating by default, and you're just being led and guided by every little whim and every little feeling that you've learned along the way, and that is what dictates what the outcome is. So if we can't line up with our thoughts, if we can't sort it out, figure out, get to the place where we are actually nice and loving and being our own best friend and not beating ourselves up and letting the external conditions control how we respond to situations and what we consider as screw-ups or mess-ups or however you want to call it, which is actually none of those things, then we're always going to have that conflicting feeling, and then eventually we're going to have negative associations about health and weight loss. You see where I'm going with this, right? Maybe you have said or thought some of the things that I talked about in this video, and if you did, feel free to comment below. So I will be working on my next video, which will be video number 3 in the series of the 5 biggest mistakes that I made in my weight loss journey. If you haven't watched the first video, you might want to go back and do that, and so that this one will make sense. Otherwise you'll just keep wondering, like, what the heck am I referring to in this other video. So at any rate, I hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.